Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DETV. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Dylan Vaughn. Say hello, Dylan.
Hello.
Dylan designs our 3D designs for the molds, for our metal molds. And the reason we wanted him here today to talk about that is because in yesterday's newsletter we dropped Candlelight Vigil Dice. It's a brand new metal mold from Dylan, and they're awesome. Dylan, do you have anything you want to just start us off on with this?
Well, I hadn't actually thought about what to say,
It's
but
okay.
I
Do you
mean,
remember why you came up with them?
they're candles. I think I thought of them when we were at a Cantrip Candles party.
Cantrip Candles, for everyone who doesn't know, cantripcandles.com is an awesome candle maker, seller, and they make their own candles. They're all handmade, and we work with them because occasionally they put our dice in the bottoms of their candles, which is a lot of fun. So you can burn the candle down and see what you rolled, kind of thing. And Christoph runs Cantrip Candles, and we hang out with him sometimes around the holidays and stuff and share, office holiday party mirth. But yeah, cool. So yeah, these would be perfect for Cantrip Candles, obviously, although that's not what they're being used for.
True. But I thought of it in a shop with a lot of candles around.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let me roll these on the tray and hold them up real close so everybody can see. I got a 4-up set here, so we can show them off. So I'll put every face up here so you guys can see. Every number is dictated by the remaining candles that have not burned down. And I'll go ahead and show you guys up close because I know the focus on that tray isn't the best. But yeah, you can see 4 little candles with little flames and little wicks. And yeah, they're pretty cool. And this is our first color way of doing these. We're calling it Vigil, and we definitely look forward to doing many more colorways because these are really cool. Some of your dice that you've designed, Dylan, have had enamel inset, and I know that there was a choice to be made about whether or not to do that with these. Can you share more about that?
Well, the way they're designed doesn't really work with enamel too well because it's just like a 3D object sort of coming out of the inside of the die. And enamel, when you put enamel in something, usually you're trying to put it into the negative space of a design, and that one doesn't really have a lot of deep negative space that wouldn't just like destroy the detail of the candle, which is kind of too bad.
Looks like, you can even see, if you look real close, there's the detail of even just the wick, so yeah, that would probably get swallowed up, you're saying?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, they look great. I really appreciate how the darkness lets the brightness of the surface come through. Do you have any idea like how that works? What's the difference there between the two colors on the metal?
That is just them polishing it back up after applying, like, the darkness is in the bottom layer. That was all over the entire thing, and then they just polish up what is towards the surface.
Very cool. Well, yeah, it gives it a really cool effect and definitely very bright. I would love to see these in silver, personally.
Oh, yeah. I think I have some in silver.
Oh, we got samples made? Sweet.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That means they'll probably be here at some point. Great. And then the rest of the newsletter was just me talking about having you on today. So.
Oh, good.
So yeah, diving more into what you do when you make these molds for metal dice. Pull up our metal offerings here. Start off, I guess, interestingly enough, I can mention that although you did not design the original molds for our what are they called, punk sets, you did end up doing the Infinity D4 custom made.
Yeah. Anything that has an infinity, I had to do myself because that's kind of our thing that other people didn't do.
Yeah, which is super cool because it sets us apart and means that if you get a 8-piece metal set from us, it's very exclusive. What was it like having to study, I guess, like the sets and then match them, match
Having
the
to
vibe.
match sets, the Sakura set was really fun because it's just a nice looking design that doesn't require a lot of like. I just had to really extract the font package that they used and then just make some branches and leaves and whatever. That was easy and fun.
Yeah.
The punk design was really annoying because you have to have that ribbon wrap around the whole die at an angle.
So what's that like? Like you're doing this in 3D, so you have to have every
Yeah.
side like match itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do things at small angles and you test it out and it doesn't work and then you try again.
Fair. That does sound really complicated. And then we'll scroll down to some of your full-on custom designs. Don't want to scroll too fast in case I just completely mess up here. Oh, if anyone's familiar with our Infinity D4s period, you'll recognize the Pixel Heart Infinity D4s. What was that like? I mean, I'm sure you probably did the enamel vector or the enamel design first. The engraving design? You tell me.
Yeah, for the original Metal Healers, that one in that picture there, I didn't make that mold. That was just that was years before I actually made any molds for the company, and I just designed the basic vector art that we were going to put on all the enamel dies or on the polymer dies, and we gave that to a company that was doing metal, and we were like, hey, so put this on all four sides.
Yeah.
Of a thing.
Cool. What have
and
you?
They did it.
I imagine it's been a little bit more like the world has opened up since you started doing it by hand.
Yeah, because I mean, you can see looking at that picture, the design is kind of a little small on the side, and that was me emailing back and forth with the person that was actually making the metal thing, being like, no, I actually wanted, if it could be closer to the edges, that would be, because then we can make it bigger and then it would look nicer.
Yeah.
And that was me failing in that conversation.
Well, now we don't have to worry about it because you do it all by hand. And
Yeah.
am I right in thinking that you recently updated this specific design?
Yes.
And that'll be coming soon, I think, to our store.
Sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
It's just basically that, but with a bigger design.
Yeah. Well, nice. Then you got to eventually course correct now that we're doing it all in-house. That's good. Let's see. There's another D4 match. We'll slide on past here. So I want to show off what I think is a very, very cool design, your concave design. We call them our Oathbound sets. Here's one. This is Oath of I can't read it. And the Ancients. That's right, the first one we did.
That was the sub-box die.
That's right. Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So what is this? It's really simple. It's really effective in my opinion. Do you have any ideas or any commentary about your process in coming up with this idea and then executing
it? I figured that with like a concave design, then we could make the numbers bigger and stand out more without feeling like it was just a big number on a die.
Fair.
Because if you just slap a big number onto a die, it's just like, well, that's just a die with a big number on it.
Yeah.
But if putting it inside of a bowl makes it interesting, apparently.
I totally think so. It definitely gives it a thing that you can't find elsewhere. And I think another good thing about these is like I haven't seen anything like this anywhere. Sometimes we get inspiration from other sets or concepts that we've dealt with before, but this is very unique in my opinion.
I'll tell you, I did it wrong.
How's that?
I mean, just like my methodology for making the sides bowls was just definitely all wrong.
Do you like go the long way or what?
I could have done it so much like easier and cleaner. It's so dirty the way it's done.
Can you describe any more what you mean?
I mean,
in like layman's non-3D terms.
I don't know if I can. I don't like the way I ended up doing it, but it did turn out fine. But just the way I did it wasn't right.
Efficient. Well, I mean, lesson learned, right? Now you can take that knowledge and apply it later on.
We're not going to do that set again.
No. You sound like me with the advent calendar. I was showing it off last stream, the one with the stitches, the sweater-looking one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's never happening again.
But did you put every stitch in by hand?
Yes, I did, and it was horrible.
Why would you put every stitch in by hand?
Yeah, I mean, here we are having this conversation. Yep. I've learned my lesson. Let's move on to the pirate dice, because this is another set that I get really excited about. I feel like we had this concept conversation as a group in the office, maybe, or someone brought it up, and we were like, what about pirate maps on dice? And you were like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I think they came out excellent.
People brought up pirate dice, and I was like, we can do them in metal, because I tried to design it years ago.
Oh, nice.
For polymer.
Okay.
And we couldn't find anybody for polymer who would bring the design close enough to the edge to have that ideal work.
Oh, okay. But now that you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah. I could cheat.
You could just
and actually I had to design that entire set twice because I didn't understand the limitations, because it was one of the first sets that I tried to have an interesting edge on.
Oh. What's the limitation you're referring to?
You really can't have like inset elements on a corner.
Okay.
Because of how the molds have to like fit together to make the die.
Okay. Interesting.
And so if you give that to someone you give the 3D model to someone who's making the actual mold, and they'll say, "What are you doing? This is possible.
Okay.
Stop it." And so I had to remake the entire set from scratch without the edges, because I had it on like on the D6, instead of just going straight over the corner, it was like there was a larger edge, and then there were some of the dots on that edge as well.
Okay. And now you're sort of like skipping the edge, jumping the edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had just like a small edge that was about the distance between all the dots. Instead, so I just like had the dots going right up to the edge of the edge.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. See, this is why we have you on, to answer these questions. And then what is, am I right, there's a two color, like all of these pirate dice have two colors in them, something for the path and then something for the X's. The X's
I don't know if they all do. I know a few of them do.
A few of them do. Do you have any idea about those? I think it's our Black Pearl set. It's a black set with white path and red X.
Yeah, Black Pearl set's got the red X.
Yeah. Do you have any idea about, or can you share with the class about how how they handle two colors, coloring when we do these dice?
I mean, that's so deeply not my department.
Okay. No problem. I imagine I'm just curious, and we should probably find out so I can answer that question later on. But it definitely gives it a different vibe.
I don't even usually choose, like designing dice, I don't even usually choose the color.
True.
I leave that to people who care about that.
Yeah.
I just want the shape to look right.
That's usually like a office discussion, and everyone's just like, oh, I don't know, I like purple. We move on from there.
Oh, yeah, I like purple, and then we have to choose which dice aren't purple.
Right. All right, well, very cool. Well, do you have anything else that you would like to share about the brand new Candlelight Vigil dice?
Just that the Infinity D4s are the best die to design because of how molds are made. They have to be a 4-part mold, so you're getting like full forward vertical detail on it instead of it being at an angle because of sides having to like be on the same mold.
Oh, okay. So like for example, with a D20, we're talking about there like being a seam kind of. Yeah,
there'll be on a D20, you might have the like one piece might be the 20, the 7, the 17, the 3, and the 19.
Okay.
With like facing down at the corner between those points. So there's like a bit of an angle to everything on those sides.
Mm-hmm. Which I guess can account for
with the D4, it's just like the one straight top-down angle, so you can just put so much more detail in them without having to worry about it.
Very cool. Oh, I guess we'll take them a second, too, to talk about Raven Queen, because that's another sort of recent metal mold that we did. And I think one that probably caused you a lot of grief. So this was one that Dylan and I sort of worked on together because I did the vector like concept version of what these might look like. And I included, I wonder if I can click on it actually just so that we can get in there and see some texture. So I included some feather texture.
Yeah.
And how did that go for you?
Well, I had to 3D model all the feathers and then place them all individually. And then I had any feather that's near the edge of a die or of a face, I have it curve up onto the face on the side or up on the front end. And usually for a die like this, I would have like a few different faces that I applied the numbers to, so there's a little variation. For the Raven Queen set, I was like, well, each die gets one face that I'll apply the numbers to. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. This is you like, I don't know, I get like a mental image of you like just carefully selecting and then moving like each individual tiny feather. It sounds like very
I mean, like the feathers themselves, right? It was then just like angling them and then dealing with the individual vertices of feathers to make them go the right places so they weren't like being overlapped by the edges of other feathers where they were coming. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Well, hopefully we have lots more textured dice in the future, so you can get back into that, you know.
I want to say that set of dice has 188,000 vertices in it.
That sounds like a lot.
It's not a small amount, especially after like usually the last pass on a die is just like doing a little optimized filter to get rid of any like small details that wouldn't be seen anyway.
Yeah.
So that's after that.
Great. Well, I'm glad that I could help make your day nice and smooth and easy and not difficult at all. All right. Well, that is it. That's a cat. That is it for, well, whatever. I'll just leave it. That I want to do a quick free candlelight vigil giveaway. And today's trivia question, brought to you by me and Google, who's very helpful, is in the original Dungeons and Dragons box set, there were 3 main classes. One of them was the fighting man, one of them was the magic user. What was the third? The first person to answer correctly in the chat will get a free candlelight vigil D4 sent to them. I'll leave that there. Hopefully you guys are thinking and not Googling, but probably Googling, it's fine.
Oh, to quickly answer Ghost Robot's question of which dice have the most vertices, it's that one.
It's that one.
It is Raven Queen.
That's the top. Which one has the least? Would it be the concave?
Anything, if it was just, if we had just anything that's just a number in a die would probably have the least number of vertices.
Okay.
A pip D6 would probably have the least number of vertices of any die.
We don't have any metal pip dice. We should make more metal pip dice.
I don't think we do.
I think we should do that. That'd be cool. All right. Yeah. I'm not seeing any answers. If I don't get any answers by the end of the stream, then I'll just choose somewhere random. All right, and then the last thing I want to talk about was upcoming conventions. So starting Jay Maloney, you can totally just answer what you found on Google. It's totally fine. Next week, we are going head first into con prep for Gateway, which is a Strategicon convention held at the Hilton. I think it's the Hilton.
Yeah, the LAX Hilton.
Yeah. And we do, Strategicon does 3 cons every year here in Los Angeles, and we go to all 3 of them every year. It's basically like, I don't know, what would you call it? It's like home kind of for convention stuff.
Yeah, it's the home convention. It's the first convention that we ever did.
Oh, is it? Did you go to the first one?
Yeah, Strategicon was the first thing.
Did you go to the first one?
No, I think I got hired by the time the second one happened. I don't think I was at the first one.
Because I imagine Dave just sitting there doing it all by himself.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard when it comes to like potty breaks, because like, although I guess everybody there is really nice, so you can have somebody watch your table, but
I mean, those first couple of conventions, we were also like really worried about thieves and stuff because we'd never been to a convention
Yeah,
before.
fair. Yeah, and there's so much traffic, you do get nervous about that. But then, I mean, at least
Yeah.
at StratCon, everyone's very chill.
Yeah.
So
I don't
we
think
don't
we've
really
ever
worry.
had any problems with that at any convention, right?
That's good. That's because gaming people are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna start off with Gateway, and then after that, I believe we have FanX in Utah. Is that right?
Yep.
And you guys are driving out for that.
Yeah, that's the last weekend, or kind of the last weekend of September.
Yeah, and then immediately following it, we have LA Comic Con in downtown, which we haven't done before. Is that right?
No, we've done that a few years.
We have. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we do it last year?
Yes.
No, I don't
I
remember.
believe so, yeah.
Well, from what I hear, we've got like a major table at that one, so it's like
Oh, yeah.
all hands on
Our
deck.
table's too big, so we're going to have a lot of stuff there.
Yay! But fortunately, I think we're gonna have a lot of stuff to have there, so that's cool. We have advent calendars are coming in. We have our mystery Halloween dice grab bag things. What do we call those? Trick or treat bags.
That's it.
Yeah, those are coming in for the Halloween season, and yeah, we'll have a ton to do. Jay Maloney, you got it. It's cleric. Cleric is the answer. So the original D&D had 3 classes: fighting man, magic casting man. It's probably not man. It's probably user. And here we go. The fighting man and the magic user and the cleric were the 3 original classes. Which I don't know. I guess it's kind of funny how like fighting man, expanded to include more things. Magic user obviously into way more things, and then cleric is just still cleric.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless then maybe cleric.
I guess you could say
paladin. Yeah, was an expansion. That's fair. It's crazy how far we've come, because now I feel like I'm completely losing track of all the possible subclasses and classes that are available. But
I definitely have.
Yeah. Alrighty. I think that's it. I don't see any pressing questions in the chat. jmaloney11, please email me. hello@diceenvy.com. Say, hey, I was on the stream. I got cleric right, and I will send you. Send me your mailing address too, please. And we'll send you a free Candlelight Vigil Infinity D4. And that's it. Dylan, thank you for being here. Thank you for talking a little bit about molds. And if anybody has any questions for Dylan, you can reach out to him at dylan@diceenvy.com. Any questions or comments for me, rach@diceenvy.com. And just anything in general you want to share with the team or ask or complain about, hello@diceenvy.com. And we will see you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys then. Thank you, Dylan.